Hi, everybody. This is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. I have with me Kushti. Kushti is one of the team at Ergo. Ergo is one of the new members, the newest members of the BPSAA, the Blockchain Privacy and Security Adoption Alliance, of which Sentinel and Pirate Chain are also members. And I'm going to be finding out about Ergo and what they do and how it works. And now, before I introduce him, please subscribe, comment, like, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, and also join my announcement Telegram channel, Crypto Rich Official. All the links in the description below. And what we're going to be discussing is what is the promise of the Ergo platform? How does it work? What does it do? And how come they've joined the BPSAA? All right.
Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of card. A metal card, powered by crypto. Every time you spend, you get 3% back instantly. Want more? We've got that too. Don't like fees? Neither do we. How about these perks? The future is here. Reserve yours now.
All right. Hello, everyone, and my pleasure to be here.
Good morning, Kushi.
Yeah.
Привет.
Good morning. Yeah.
आपने मेरे साथ उर्दू में बात करनी है?
मैं उर्दू बोलता हूँ मगर थोड़ा.
So great. That's right. That's right. Kushti surprised me by speaking to me in Urdu. That's very good. Okay. Kushti, do you want to start by introducing yourself, just saying a little bit about yourself? Because you had a background in Cardano, right?
Yeah, so I'm in the space since February 2011. Right, so initially I just read something. So I was in distributed systems development and was also a big fan of different peer-to-peer projects, even before Bitcoin. Yeah, that's how I discovered Bitcoin, so kind of peer-to-peer money without central bank. I mean, by that time, it was just mind-blowing, right? So you don't have central bank, you have emission provided via some algorithm, and you have peers in some network, so some magic money, right, in this peer-to-peer network. So I started to read about all that stuff, and yeah, then from 2012, I started to do some actual things like trading and mining, and from 2013, I started developing some projects around Bitcoin, including one of the first trading data aggregator. So it was launched about the same time as Bitcoin Wisdom. Right, so it was before any coin market cap and so on. So people used Bitcoin Wisdom initially when it was about 3 or 4 major exchanges, right, back in 2013. Yeah, and I made some similar service, and I also worked on a wallet with hedging possibilities, auto hedging. But it wasn't launched as far as I know, and I was just kind of a freelance developer there. And then from 2014, I'm in core development. So I used to be NXT core developer back in 2014, 15. Mm-hmm. All right, so NXT was first pure proof of stake cryptocurrency. So yeah, it was a huge topic recently on crypto Twitter. Yeah, something about Algorand versus NXT. I mean, who was the first pure proof of stake cryptocurrency? So it was NXT, obviously, launched in late 2013. Okay, and also I made some projects back in 2014 with Sergey Nazarov. Right, so we made first some kind of encrypted mail service on top of NXT blockchain, then some web frontend for decentralized exchange, which NXT had. And then we started to add some features, and in late 2014, that front end was pivoted into smartcontract.com. So I used to be co-founder of smartcontract.com. right? And smartcontract.com pivoted in late in 2017, right, into Chainlink, now well-known project, right? But I left in late 2015, and I was pretty sure that the project is about to be dead. All right, so it was very surprising to see it pivoted to Chainlink and succeeding. But anyway, so from 2015, late 2015, I started to work with Charles Hoskinson initially, then his company IHK, right? So I believe I was among top first 10, probably maybe even first 5 employees of the company, right? So IHK is known to be a company behind Cardano. But actually, I touched Cardano just very little bit, right? So IHK also had other clients, right? And I was in R&D department, so I made a bunch of papers there. You can find them in Google Scholar, right? So most of them published in peer-reviewed venues, like workshops and some major conference in the space. Okay, and from 2016, late 2016, me and some peers of mine started to think about design for a new cryptocurrency, right? It was named Ergo by then. And from mid 2017, I'm on unpaid leave at OHK, and I'm slowly working on Ergo, right? And on July 1st, 2019, Ergo was launched, and yeah, that's my story basically. Story of my adventures in the space.
Yes, quite a bit. So Bitcoin, next coin, next Chainlink, Cardano, and now Ergo.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So I also made a framework called Scorex, right, which was used to launch waves, right, and yeah, also was used for some other cryptocurrencies. Yeah, inherited from waves like V systems and yeah, some other cryptocurrencies, like 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, I have even more contributions.
Yes, moved to that quite a bit. And okay, so let's moving on to Ergo. So it launched in July 2019. So in a nutshell,
Yeah.
what is the Ergo platform?
All right. So in the first place, Ergo is still going from the first principles of Bitcoin, basically, right? But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit hard maybe to tell about these first principles, right? So recently, I helped one journalist about yeah, discovering some things in regards with Satoshi Nakamoto, right? So yeah, that story that he used Russian IRC server, right, in the first version of Bitcoin to bootstrapping the nodes, right? So yeah, so I checked yeah, Bitcoin source code again, so the very initial version. Yeah, it seems so narrative changed and actually a lot during Bitcoin history, right? So it's hard to say about its first principles, right, without giving a timeline for those principles. But still, so Ergo is a classic proof of work cryptocurrency, right, in the first place. So it's not kind of DEX cryptocurrency. It's not proof of stake. It's not hybrid proof of work and proof of stake. So I made a paper on some hybrid cryptocurrency called TwinsCoin, some paper design. But yeah, to me, it's not very practical still. Right. And yeah, so yeah, so it's still a classic proof of work cryptocurrency, right? So a limited emission is there. And yeah, so block time is about nothing exciting, probably, like so 2 minutes between blocks and so on, right? But on the other side, it is also very innovative, right? So it brings a lot of new things to the space, I believe, right? So Ergo has support for much more powerful contracts without sacrificing security and scalability, right? So we have a lot of examples of contracts already, like crowdfunding funding, bonds, auctions, stable coins, oracles, and so on, right? So Ergo is pretty much DeFi ready because DeFi is a hot topic now, right? So Ergo is very much suited for DeFi applications. Also, Ergo has some unique support for cryptographic protocols to be built on top of it, right? So not built into the core, like you have mixing right in the core of Monero or Zcash or Pirate Chain, right, with different characteristics like anonymity set and so on. But in all of these cryptocurrencies, so you have mixing in the core, right? In the core level. And in Ergo, so you can build non-interactive mixers on application level, right? So then you can, for example, go from one scheme to more advanced one without changing anything in the core, right? So without forks. Because Monero, for example, is being forked like crazy, so they had like 50 forks or like I don't even know. I mean, so they're forking like every 3 months, right? Yes, some forks were about critical vulnerabilities found in the cryptography, or switching to more powerful mixing schemes, right? So in Ergo, you can switch to more powerful schemes by just introducing new applications, right? So without touching the core. And in the core, you have support for a variety of efficient zero-knowledge proof protocols called generalized no proofs, also known as Sigma protocols. So mixing is just the first example, and we already have mixers working in the main network. And so we have a mixer for ERCs, right? And just a few days ago, a new mixer was released. So mixer for tokens. So Ergo also has support for custom tokens, right? So they're kind of first-class citizens, like in NXT or Ravencoin. So you have possibility to issue your own token, right? And token support is in the core, right? So it's not like ERC20. It's the native support. And for these tokens, for example, for stable coins, there is possibility to mix as well, right? So we will have more privacy-preserving applications in the future, I believe, like privacy-preserving auctions, or privacy-preserving decentralized autonomous organizations, for example, right? So kind of privacy-preserving voting is possible, definitely, right? With results moving funds on chain, for example. Okay, so what else is there?
Let me, before you go on, Christian, let me
yeah.
ask you a few things, right? So one,
All right.
by mixing, you mean you're referring to the ability to obscure the transaction history. So it's
right,
yes?
right, to obscure transactions graph, right? So
Right, like a jumbler or something, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so unlike mixers in Bitcoin, so you know the problem of mixers in Bitcoin is that they require for some operator, right? And in the worst case, this operator is custodial. Then there are some cases of such operators being jailed, right, for doing custodial services for such things, right? In the first place, you need to have non-custodial mixer, obviously, right? But still, if some service is needed, then you have problems with networking layer, right? With possibilities to intervene, right, into the service. Like recently, just a few days ago, it was some report from Europol on Wasabi wallets, right? They consider it to try to backdoor, right? To get some backdoor installed into that service, right? So when you don't have service, when you have non-interactive mixing, right? So then you don't have all these problems, right? So in case of Ergo, to mix, you just interact with the blockchain, right? So you just have some program on your own machine, right? So it's finding appropriate candidates to mix, and it's mixing, right? So you don't have any external service, right? And so in this aspects. So ergo mixing is similar to Monero, for example,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or maybe even Pirate Chain or Zcash, right? But anonymity set is not so good, maybe, right? As in Pirate Chain. So Pirate Chain is about everything being anonymous, right? So all the blockchain being anonymous. So
Yeah.
ergo is still not private coin, right? So per se, so it's just kind of application. So your anonymity set is about application users. But yeah, so still it's much better than in Bitcoin, for example, right?
Okay. All right. And then what are the other features of Ergo? Like in terms of, I suppose, the equivalent of gas fees and how fast it
Um,
is and the load it can take and the number of applications that can be built on it.
all right. So in regards with possible applications, so still we are in the beginning of understanding the limits, right? So we have a lot of examples, right, and some applications coming. So even mining pool, right? So there are a couple of mining pools coming. So even a mining pool in Ergo is based on smart contracts because there is some protection against pools, centralized pools in Ergo, right? So then pooling is still possible. Yeah, we revealed it after mainnet launch via some smart contract scheme, right? Which is quite interesting because, yeah, it's known that if you have enough powerful enough smart contracts, then you can affect consensus, right? Consensus layer with these contracts. Like if you can have even without smart contracts, if you have, for example, futures for mining hash rate, right? In Bitcoin, for example, then miners can pull out the hash rate, right? So in order to profit. For example, similarly in proof of stake blockchain, uh, it is predicted that we will see a clash between DeFi applications and staking, right? So maybe it's already been witnessed in some blockchains. I don't know, but yeah, so it's pretty obvious, right? So if you have some proof of stake tokens, then you can lend them, right? Or you can participate in staking, right? So and then yeah, it is very big question how secure a proof of stake blockchain will be if you have such a dilemma. Okay, so similarly in Ergo, so there is protection against pools, right? But yeah, some pooling schemes using collaterals from miners we have found, right? So we have some pools coming, right? So in regards with other applications, so I guess Ergo would be especially good for some financial applications like crowdfunding. Yeah, maybe some simple financial tools and so on. Okay, and let's see. So we are just in the beginning of understanding what's possible, right? And yeah, so yeah, so some things are coming here. Yeah, even next week. So yeah, stay tuned.
Okay. All right. Good. And then what sort of applications have already been built? Are any of them like publicly launched?
Yeah, so mixers, right, publicly available, and yeah, in regards
Now,
with
mixes for which sort of coins?
so for ERCs, right, and yeah, also for custom tokens. So they're still yeah, so they released with source codes, right, but not very user friendly still. So hopefully, community will work on delivering binaries, right? So for different platforms. And yeah, also maybe better UI, but still, so some people already playing with the mixers, right? So also we made some crowdfunding campaigns last autumn, right? So there are some tools available. UI is needed and is coming,
Mhm.
right? And yeah, so there are some oracles delivering data from CoinMarketCap, for example, right? So there is Ergo price already delivered on the Ergo blockchain, right? So using these oracles, so we played a little bit with some stable coin primitives, right? So let me think what else. So there are some wallets, but not fancy ones, right? So there is Coin1 wallet supporting custom tokens, so you can issue your own tokens on top of the blockchain, right? And that's basically it. And currently we need for some wallet like MetaMask a lot, right? So some wallets which will sign requests from external applications, and then we will have a possibility to have these applications. Also, we have some scripts and some command line tools for decentralized exchange, right? Still user interface is needed. So currently, we need a lot for front end developers to develop UIs. It seems currently we are getting into the stage when we need to deliver user interfaces for the things which already discovered and played with.
Okay, all right. And why should any project use the Ergo platform versus, say, using Komodo or Electronium? Sorry, not Electronium, Ethereum.
There are some more features in Ergo, right? So in the first place, it has much better support for light clients, right? Including stateless full nodes you can run on Raspberry Pis, for example, and also very efficient mobile clients with real SPV security, right? So if you target users with mobiles, and if you think about real security SPV